Hello and welcome back. So in this video, what we are going to do is after we've entered the results, we need to upload them to Rating Central. So in the last video, I showed you how to enter a variety of different types of results. And this time, in this video, we're going to upload to Rating Central. We'll also set up the event reports in a way so that you only have to do it once for the season, and you just need to update them as the season progresses. So in week one here, we've already entered the results. What we need to do is go to RC event report on the top left corner here, and you'll be taken to this page, or if you are taken to one of these other pages, you just need to make sure that you are at one event. Okay, and this is what the screen will look like at the very beginning. Now, what we want to do is set these up in a way so that we have all the season that we need. So this season began on the 18th of November. So we would click on the 18th of November to begin. Now, what we need to do is enter what we want to call this event. So we'll call it the 2024 GDTTA Spring Daytime League, right? And they occur on so this tab here will tell you the season, but because we want to have a custom season name, so I enter it in the first bar here, so I don't need this first one. But what I do want is that they occur on a Monday, and I want to have round one. Okay, so 2024 GDTTA Spring Daytime League on a Monday's round one. And this is for if you had set this up for Victorian clubs like I have. This is for Greater Dandenong Table Tennis Association. We won't be using the state because we are based outside of US. So we use province, which is Victoria. The event country, we should be able to use the setup, which is Australia. If we click on the event sport, it's table tennis, because that's how we set it up. The unrated mean and standard deviation. Okay, so first of all, we need to make sure that default is turned off. And referring to the Table Tennis Australia Rating Central guidelines, based on my understanding of where this tournament would most likely fit, I would probably say most players would probably be in the 1,150 range. Okay, and of course there is error handling here to let you know if your prior is not eligible. Okay, now I would create my event, but noting that I want to create this for the entire season, what I would want to do is create an event series. Okay. Now, if I wanted to create an event series, but I note, what I could do right now is, okay, I just click on create event series. It's going to ask me if I want to have rounds or finals. Well, if I clicked on rounds and finals, it'll ask me to start at round one. There's actually 6 rounds here, so 6. And if I want finals, then I can put in a variety of finals types, and so on and so on. But because there's no finals being done, I don't want to have finals. So I'll click event series and just have rounds. And I want to have 6 rounds. I want to end at round 6, right? And I want to increment the event date by the same amount, but you can have different if you really want to. But generally, pennants are week by week, so I want the same, and 7 days to say a week. So I'll click OK. I realize what I did wrong. Okay, I do not want that. I want to create my event series, have rounds. I want to start at round 1, finish at round 6, and I want to increment by the same amount by 7. And it's created all of my rounds. Okay, now to get to this folder, I just click on this blue one here, and it'll take me to this folder here that's popped up on my other screen. And let's just say I made a mistake with the dates. So I'm going to get rid of all of these because I don't want them. And I click refresh and they're all gone. Now, this time in the event series, I noticed that, oh, well, actually, we're going to have the stadium's not available on let's see here, on November the 25th. So I want to skip that date, but I don't want to do it manually. Well, actually, you can't. All you have to do is click on From Cal and then click on the dates that you want to skip. So I want to skip the 25th, right? And then create your event series. So on that round, start at round 1, finish at round 6, increment by the same. I create it here. I click on this first one. It's on the 18th. Round 2 should occur on December the 2nd. And if I click on there, it starts on December the 2nd. So it's pretty good, right? And you can see all the details has more or less been saved for each of these events here. So RCPS can do that, right? Another thing that it can do is that if you go into the blue folder here and you if you create a new folder, and we'll call this 2024 spring, right? Create a new folder, and then I move all of these into this little folder here, and then refresh. It'll recognize, oh, you've got a folder here. So then this is how you can ensure that every season, all your files are contained within that one in a folder that you need, okay? So that's how you would manage it season by season. All right, so I'm going to round 1 because that's the one I want to update. And then what I would do now is click Update Event. All right, the first thing that I should do when I am in this page is that I should uncheck this, okay? I don't want that. That's only really useful if you're probably saying you're importing or you're doing a resubmission, but we're not doing any of that. So I want to have that unchecked. Then I need to add the data. So where am I going to get the data from? Well, I enter the data, remember, Pennant match scores, okay? And what you want to do is that you want to add the results for all of D1 into event report. So what we're going to do is that we're going to make sure that all round is checked, all right? You may want to have it unchecked because, let's say one of the matches in that week, they both decided to play on a different date. That's when you might have it unchecked. So you would click, you would only want to add a single round. But generally, if you enter all your results in for that week, then, this is a little cheat. So you make sure that all round is checked. And then if you click on add to, and make sure you click on the right round, so round 1, click add to event MD, and it's just added all the matches here into that event report, okay? And then we'll do the same for D2, same thing, make sure it's on number 1, and all of these matches, all round, click to add to event MD, and all the data necessary has been added here. But there's one more thing that we need to do because this is not in the right format that we want, okay? We want to have this in the correct Rating Central format, and the way to do that is to then click on this button that's called Filter and Convert for Rating Central. Click on that, and then that converts it in the right format, okay? You want to make sure that you have bands checked and, generally have country only checked because then they'll make sure that you stay in Australia, okay? Let's say, you realize that Greg is actually, actually should be Gregory Bristow. So you can have it changed here, Greg Bristow, and change it to Gregory Bristow. And then you could have replace anywhere or replace it in the event report, and then it'll make an update. But we actually don't want to do that. Okay, so we would just leave it as is. But if you need to make a manual change, you can actually change it there or change it here. All right, so what we want to do now is create that event report, and then that's actually going to create all of the, turn it into the right format. And then now what we do is that we can analyze all of these players to make sure that we've got the right player. So if it's a first time, if RCPS cannot pick it up, the player, because when you've done your import at the very beginning and those players don't yet exist in Rating Central, they will appear as blue and with a negative ID. But what you should do every single time is then click on Find Surname in RC, and you could start on state, and then if you click on that player, then you can sort of have a look here and see if they appear. And then if not, you might want to look at the country, and that's all Australian players, and we can see that Frank Hoang does not exist. So we'll just leave him as B. We might look at Qinghua, again, does not exist, so we'll leave him B. Chuan Shu does not exist, we'll leave him B. And Zhang, Amelia Zhu, well, we can't, if I'm to look throughout all Australia, and here I can scroll down even more, get to the Ys, and yeah, we can't find UA Amelia as well. So we're going to leave that one be, but we know that Amelia is probably a female, so we'll click F here, right, and then click Save to Event Report. Say, we might want to change some details, so we might go back to, Greg here, and we might want to change something about him so that instead of playing for Croydon, he's actually playing for Dandenong. You could make an update there. But then if you want to make that update, then you have to click Y here for new info and then save. Okay. So for example, here, Diane Bridal, we might want to change it to Dandenong. Well, I've actually put, Dandenong is our event club. So I'll click event, change it to Y, and then click save. And then all of those details will be updated in Rating Central. I go to my event report now. I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to click check for errors. No errors were found, and this is all ready to go to Rating Central. If you had set up an email, you'll be able to web post the event report, so you can just click on that, and then there's a log here that will tell you what's going on, and all we have to do is just wait for the little button that says OK, and that means we're pretty good to go. Otherwise, you can click copy event to clipboard and click on go to Rating Central results, which would take you to this page here, where all you have to do is just add your email and then just paste this to here, and then click submit, and that will also submit it as well. So there's two ways that you can submit. Once you've submitted it, all you have to do is just wait for the lovely email from Rating Central that tells you that you have submitted it. And once you've seen it submit, then we can comfortably, then all you have to do is just import the results again and go from there. Okay, so just want to wait for this email, which will then allow me to I could then import. Yep, I've received it, so it's all good. So if I go to my setup and click import rating list and club list, again, because I'm sharing on Zoom and my internet is not great, might be a little bit slow. But to show you what it is, how it will appear in Rating Central, get Rating Central opened up. Doing this on the other screen for a minute. You can see here it is all done as is. Okay, so there's all the details. And remember, Diane Bridal, we said that we changed their club. So if we go to their player info, and we can see that their club has changed to Greater Dandenong, which is exactly what we wanted. All right, so we are currently, so all of this information now, we are bringing it back into RCPS. So once it is filtered, the list, which you just have to give it a minute or so. Otherwise, you can check the results, and particularly with the new players, that it's always best to have a look and see, okay, did I give them the right prior? So dry and shoe here, yeah, you look, that's all right, but you might consider bringing that down to 800, 150 if you really wanted to, but otherwise it's not that important. But generally, 1,150 looks like it's a pretty good indicator for that division given when you look at all the other players. So if I look at their initial ratings, so most of these players are in the uh, you know pardon me, in D2. So that looks okay. Okay, that filtering is complete. If I went back to my event report and clicked on events, I can actually see that, if I was to update that event there, we can create event report. Now, all of these players are now in red because now they have a Racing Central ID. But also red indicates it is their first event. And as you can see, this one, RCPS does a predictor thing that once you've submitted it, it'll suggest a new initial prior because what it's saying that 1,000 might be a little bit too high, so we might drop it to 800, but that's up to you if you want to do that. It's not mandatory. Otherwise, we can see it's all good to go. So, and then if you were, and then of course, you could make your updates as necessary and then resubmit. Okay. So that's for, if I was to now go to players and check in rating list, we can all see that all of these players now have rating, and we'll be referring to these players from then on. All right, so that's submitting your results, and then for the following week, we'll just do the exact same process without all of this setup, and because you've already done it once, and you just have to make use of what you've already done. The next video, once we get around to it, is when you actually create a new season so you don't have to go through all of these 8 videos on how to set it up again. There's actually a little bit of a trick that would help you maintain the data that you've already got. So that's all for the videos for now. Thank you for watching. But effectively, what we've done so far in these 10 videos is how to set up your pennant and actually run your pennant. And now all there is how to actually, maintain pennants on an ongoing basis. So stay tuned for those videos once we get around to it. But that has been helpful in, working the pennant in a more automated way using RCPS. All right, thank you. And as always, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to email myself or Jared. Okay, see you then. Bye.